It's the Riot Podcast, Thursday, June 1st edition. What is your most embarrassing sick in public story?
I had one when I was young.
Uh-huh.
I was in third.
That's always how it is, right?
That's the only time you're puking.
If
why
you
are
think
kids puking so much?
If you have any hint of being sick when you're an adult, you just stay home usually.
Yeah,
if you
you're
think
not
there's a
throwing
chance
up.
of you throwing up in front of other people.
I haven't thrown up from being sick in years. I can't even remember the last time I threw up from being sick. So long ago. But when you're a kid, you're just always puking. Why are you always puking?
I don't know, because you're in like school with other kids, and so everybody's getting each other sick.
Like stomach bugs. Maybe your
Nobody's
stomach isn't as ready for the real world yet. I don't know.
That's right. You haven't built up an immunity. You're not washing your hands. That kind of stuff.
Makes sense. But yeah, I would have been in fourth grade, I think, at the time. And I was sick, staying home from school.
Okay.
I had been like throwing up. I felt really bad. And I'll never forget the story because it was like spring picture day, which isn't even the real picture day. Like the real picture day was in the fall.
Yeah, right.
And so we've got spring picture day in the spring, which is like when we do some other photos that you can buy that parents don't even usually buy. You'll do like a class photo and stuff. And so my mom was like, well, you can't miss spring picture day. So she sent me in. So I went in just for photos, though.
Okay.
I didn't go in for classes, anything like that.
Yeah.
I just went in for pictures because it was so important to my mom for some odd reason. So I sit down and like you have like the photo booth or whatever. They have the background behind you. You sit down in a little chair and
you're
like,
all dressed up?
I have a turtleneck on.
Oh.
Who puts their kid who's been throwing up in a turtleneck?
What a mistake.
Oh, huge mistake. Of all things for me to be wearing, a turtleneck is by far the worst, right? So I sit down, I'm looking at the camera, and I'm not even joking. I throw up in like the area in which everyone's getting their solo pictures taken.
No.
Puke in that area. I look ridiculous in front of everybody. It's so embarrassing. But the next thing is of course I'm like pale as a ghost. I just threw up. I'm like 9 years old, super embarrassed. But I still have to take the group photo.
Oh, no.
And so I don't even know if this is allowed. Like now after COVID, there's no way this would be allowed.
Yeah.
But then they were like, it's okay. Get in the group photo. And so then I'm in the group photo, and my face is just pale as a ghost. I've got this stupid turtleneck on. I literally threw up like 3 minutes before, and they were like trying to hurry my class up so I could get the heck out of there.
Yeah.
I ruined like the entire cafeteria. It smelled terrible in there because I threw up everywhere. I'll never forget. I had toast. That's all I could put down in the morning.
Yeah.
I had toast before I came with grape jelly on it. It was purple throw up everywhere.
Oh, wow.
And so then I got the picture taken, the group photo taken. I looked terrible. I shouldn't even have shown up. I was pale as a ghost. I'm wearing a stupid turtleneck. That was my most embarrassing one.
I think your mom had egg on her face for that one.
Yeah, puke boy for a while.
Yeah.
Awesome.
For me, my worst story is I remember me and a group of people, a group of friends, we're going to go to a music festival. And so we set up like a caravan, like we're all driving because there's a lot of people. So we all got to drive. We're driving together, but a bunch of separate vehicles. I'm in a vehicle with my best friend, his sister, and his mom. And this is probably like a 2-3 hour drive to this festival. Not probably like 30 minutes into the drive. I'm like, listen, I don't want to go to the bathroom. I need to go to the bathroom. This is urgent. And so, I mean, to actually have to admit that to people, that's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing as is.
And so they eventually I keep it together. They manage to eventually find a Walmart where they can pull off and I can get some treatment. I run into the bathroom and finally I finish up. I walk back and my friend's missing. And I'm like, what's going on? So his mom had sent him in like behind me to be like, hey, just, make sure that he's doing okay and whatever. And while I was in the bathroom, those machines that take your blood pressure?
Oh my gosh.
He was taking his blood pressure.
What?
Yeah.
In Walmart?
In Walmart.
That's hilarious.
So then he comes back after me. He's like, I was just getting my blood pressure taken. I don't know how he noticed that I was gone.
What a
I guess he must have seen me walk out. But.
Yeah, what a nostalgic feeling that is.
Yeah, because I don't know if they still do those things or not.
No, they don't. They're not anywhere. Why would you even do that? People have it on their watch.
Why did people do that in the first place?
I don't know, because there was just a thing you could put your arm in. I don't know. When were you walking through Walmart and you were like,
I don't know. When your friend was sick, when your friend was needed the pens.
As a child, it was like a fun thing. It's not a fun thing.
Yeah,
It's like just a weird thing. That's just a weird thing to have in a Walmart.
it is. I don't know why they ever did that, but that was embarrassing to have to. You're a couple minutes into a long, semi-long road trip with your best friend. His mom is like, "Hey, I got to go to the bathroom so bad that you need to pull off
Right now.
Yeah,
I think you would have let him know a little earlier.
I didn't feel it. It hit so suddenly. You've been there, right?
It was just like a one-time hitter.
It stuck with me for a lot of the festival, actually.
That's
but
terrible.
I made it the rest of the way.
Ugh.
Yeah, so that was
No fun.
No. In today's podcast, if this hasn't scared you away, we do the first ever Choice Champions. It's where we draft, in this case, the best things about the summer. Isaiah and I put together our teams, and then you can decide which one you think is better. You can hear what other people are voting for. And coming up tomorrow, we're going to be having donuts for National Donut Day.
I'm pumped. I'm so pumped.
Let us know.
I love donuts. I cannot wait.
Whether it's in the comments or by texting 8772 RadioU, where you think where are the best donuts? Where should we get our donuts from for National Donut Day?
And everyone's going to say like a local place, which is okay.
Yeah. Send them in.
Send them in no matter what. I remember before this, I lived in Kentucky, and there was a local place there that, I'm not joking, were the best donuts that I've ever had. And because the local places, they just do them the best. They have all the different flavors and stuff. They had like this blueberry. I'm a diehard for like a blueberry filled one.
Yeah.
Or like an apple filled. I love an apple filled one as well. There's like my top 2 favorite donuts. So anywhere that has like a good blueberry or an apple filled donut, one of those two, love it. Send it in, please.
Yeah, I'm a big Boston cream guy, so let me know where the best Boston cream donut comes from, and maybe we'll go there.
We'll see you guys soon.
Catch you next time.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on RadioU.
The state of Maryland has been caught. They have a license plate. It was a license plate that featured like the Star Spangled Banner. It had like, the American flag. It's the guy who wrote the Star Spangled Banner, our national anthem. He's from Maryland. He was born in Maryland, Francis Scott Key. And they also in Maryland have something called the Star Spangled Banner Trail. It runs through Maryland and Virginia and D.C. I guess you can
hike it?
Hike it or something.
Okay.
I've never heard. I didn't realize that, but I should have known because this was a big thing on their license plate. There's a celebrated thing when there's some anniversary of the Star Spangled Banner and all this. It was on their license plates. It was a license plate that I had. And this was a license plate that they stopped using in 2016. But the URL on this license plate that the state of Maryland gave out to just about everybody with a car for 4 years has been redirecting people to a Filipino gambling site for the past several months.
Why?
Why? I mean, somebody hasn't been paying attention, apparently.
Like, is someone getting fired, or was this like an on-purpose thing, or what is this?
I don't think that this was intentional on the state of Maryland's part. I'll tell you that.
I guess that makes sense. Unless yet again, someone's getting fired.
That would be an odd prank to play. I think it was maybe somebody with this Filipino casino, somebody in the the running that just took advantage. That had a watchful eye on URLs that might be available and found a way to
and snag that one.
And so for the past, now here's what's sad. This actually started taking place going back to, it goes back to last year. Between August and December of 2022 is the nearest anyone can figure out. Sometime in the past 10 months, say, is when this started happening. But it wasn't really brought to anybody's attention until now.
Yeah, because nobody wants to admit that that's actually true, Yeah,
you wouldn't want to admit it. And it shows that who's going to a license plate URL?
Nobody.
Who's typing in starspangled200.com or org or whatever it is? Who's just saw that on the license plate like, ooh, let me go there.
Let me see what that's about.
Yeah.
And even if you did,
I'm intrigued.
If you typed that in and you sent it and then ended up on this best like betting site or whatever it is, you would just assume that you read it wrong.
Yeah, you must have typed it in wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to go back out and look at that license plate again. This can't be right.
No way.
The state of Maryland wouldn't direct me here to this scantily clad Filipino woman telling me to get a $250 deposit bonus.
And can you imagine too, like going somewhere for like a license plate URL? You're going to like obviously do something with a license plate, and then you get on this betting website, and then you're like, actually, maybe I'll stick around on here and make a couple bets. Like, I don't feel like that's a good form of advertising.
No.
I don't feel like the people that are going there and end up finding themselves there are ever really signing up, if I had to guess.
Probably not. But, I mean, maybe the person who figured this out with the Filipino betting site, maybe they're just like, if I can just get one person, they're like a teacher. If I can just change one person's life by luring them into Filipino gambling, then it's
worth it.
Yeah, it is. So they got to get that ironed out. 768,000 of those license plates out on the road.
Oh, my gosh.
Leading people astray.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Tomorrow, I noticed, is a National Donut Day. And I thought, a lot of times we'd celebrate the day on the day. Maybe we will. You think we'll have donuts tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, we're going to.
Probably. But for many people, donuts, typically, that's something, it's a breakfast time food. And so I thought I should pre-warn you so you can incorporate time in for a stop at a donut shop on your morning run tomorrow to make sure that, you don't, because if we talked about this tomorrow during the show, you might already be at work.
You're probably already running behind. Now you can calculate that into your morning to where you wake up a little bit earlier. That way you can get a free donut somewhere.
Exactly. So here's where you can get free donuts or donut deals for National Donut Day tomorrow. 1, Dunkin' Donuts. They are offering a free classic donut of your choice with the purchase of any beverage.
That's fair.
You do have to purchase a beverage.
You get yourself a coffee.
What are you not gonna get a drink?
Yeah, get yourself a coffee and then you can get a free donut.
Okay. At Krispy Kreme Donuts, you can get a free donut of any kind, no purchase necessary.
Oh,
that means
that's pretty good.
I mean, you could go crazy. You could get whatever the highest end donut is. Get some real bang for your buck.
Some sort of filled donut, probably.
I'm seeing here they have key lime pie and strawberries and cream donuts. Are those new? Key lime pie? It doesn't sound like something they normally have.
Sounds real good. Also, the buy a dozen donuts and get another dozen original glaze for $2 is a great deal.
That's a lot.
If you work in a building, that's a great deal.
Someone could make everyone's day here tomorrow by doing that. Or I guess we could.
Or you could make some money by just being like, oh, yeah, I'll pick up donuts tomorrow for National Donut Day.
Yeah.
I'm going to get 2 dozen if you guys just Venmo
Chip
me.
in, yep.
And then you can make a little
That's a good idea.
Isn't that a good idea?
Scrape a little off the top. How about this? I haven't been to this place in forever, but it is good. Duck Donuts. They're offering a free cinnamon sugar donut. No purchase necessary as well.
I love a good cinnamon sugar donut.
Yeah. And Duck Donuts, I never
had Duck Donuts.
You haven't had it?
Never had it.
No, Duck Donuts is it's a solid donut place. They're good for if you want to get a little more creative with your donuts. You want to try something a little unique. Duck Donuts might have it. You ever heard of Lamar's Donuts?
Never heard of Lamar's.
Neither have I, but they're offering free Ray's Original Glazed Donuts all day long.
It looks like Tim Hortons has some too.
Yeah, Tim Hortons. That's a good donut place.
It says if you buy any size hot or iced beverage using the Tim Hortons app, oh my gosh, or online, timhortons.com, then you get a free donut.
Worth it.
I guess it's worth it. I just hate using the app.
Think about you think about it. You just drive around town. You make a little bit of a loop, and you could have at least 4 donuts and 2 drinks for the price of 2 drinks.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty. I mean, that's almost a day's worth of food
for somebody that doesn't have much going on tomorrow. Yeah, you get a lot of free donuts.
You definitely could. If you're working from home tomorrow, you're working from a donut shop. Is what I think.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of free donuts.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Do you have a preferred donut stop? Which one is of the ones we've named?
I mean,
do you lean?
Local places are typically better.
Yeah. I like the big national ones. We're talking Krispy Kreme, Dunkin', Tim Hortons.
I think it's between Duck Donuts and Krispy Kreme. Because Krispy Kreme, you can just get the most boring donut and it's still the best.
Still good.
So it's hard to go against that.
It's really hard. I agree. It's hard to go against Krispy Kreme, but I also think that Dunkin' Donuts is a little bit slept on.
Oh, you think so?
I think it is. It's not I don't think it's way more amazing than Tim Hortons or anywhere else, but I think it's a little bit slept on. And every time I go there, I always get a good donut. Tim Hortons, I'm not a big fan of their like regular donuts, but I do love the Timbits. I love
who
the
doesn't love
Timbits.
Timbits?
They're just so easy to pop in your mouth. You can eat a million of them.
Yeah.
They taste so good.
Yeah, they definitely are. I'm a big Timbit guy, but they're not giving those away for free tomorrow.
So what are we gonna do tomorrow then? Like what kind of donut are we gonna get? It's not like there's a new one we can try. We're just gonna like get donuts.
Well, it's National Donut Day. Just celebrate. You know?
Should we get like
Just a
Krispy Kreme
when in Rome.
or?
Probably Krispy Kreme just because of the deal. You know?
Oh, so we're gonna cash in on the deal.
Probably do that. Save RadioU a little bit of money.
I guess so.
Yeah, it's probably the wise
Are you gonna
choice.
pick them up on the way?
I don't know if they're open that early.
Tim Hortons is. I don't think Krispy Kreme is.
Oh, well, then that might change the equation.
That's what I think, because I always pass. I used to pick up Tim Hortons every day, so we could do Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons, it may be.
We'll see tomorrow.
We'll see. It'll be a surprise for everyone.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
If you need a cool date idea, I've got you covered. The hot new dating trend. The next time you get asked out on a Tinder date, they might ask you to go on a picnic.
Little throwback there.
Yeah.
Picnics are back, baby. They're back.
Picnics are back in a big way. I have data here that says that on Pinterest alone, interest in picnic date ideas has skyrocketed 385% since just last year.
That's a skyrocket.
It's gone through the roof of people looking at, because, you know, you have the old school idea of a picnic in your mind, the gingham blanket and watermelon that the ants are stealing and stuff like that. But picnics don't have to be that way.
No, they
Picnics
don't.
can be way different. Picnics can be a lot nicer than that, but still count as a picnic.
See, this is wild that this story came up, because I saw a post yesterday that a girl had taken a picture like from her apartment building, because the building next to her, they were doing a picnic on the rooftop.
Oh.
And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so jealous of this date or whatever.
Yeah.
And I came in this morning and the story was here, so it does have some validity that people are actually going on picnics.
That's right. You don't have to be, picnic doesn't have to be in the park. It doesn't have to be grass, right?
You can do it anywhere.
As long
if you
as
have a blanket and some food and you're outside, I think it counts as a picnic.
So are you into this idea?
I'm into this idea, but not for a first date.
You don't think first date?
I think first date, no picnics for first date, but for like a couple dates down the line, it's a pretty cute date idea.
What makes it not first date material?
See, I think if you do this on a first date, you're putting in way too much effort.
Too much effort.
You're putting in too much effort.
It feels pretty low rent to me.
See, I feel like if this is a really thoughtful date, and so if I asked you on a picnic and came with food and did all this stuff, and I show up and you suck, or if you don't like me, it's going to make you like me even more, or like me even less.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I show up and I'm putting on all this effort, you're going to get creeped out by me. I'm going to give you the ick. You're going to think I'm super clingy, that I want to date you right away. That's what's going to happen.
What, did you also buy a gift? You bought a necklace?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's going to make her think, like, I wouldn't have bought a necklace. Somebody's going on a picnic made you a necklace for the date.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're going to think that I want to date you right away, and you're not going to like me. So I think if you're going on a picnic, the girl has to already like you. It can be a cute thing, and you can like pack the basket together of things you're going to bring or whatever and stuff like that. But if you try to do this on a first date, you're doing too much. You're going to freak her out. Not a good idea.
So save the picnic date idea for after things are going well. You need to get a little creative, but you want to get to know each other.
Yes, you got to save it. And the other thing about it too is there's no easy escape here. Like if she's weird,
true.
There's no easy escape.
She's
like, you
sitting
got a
on the
basket.
blanket.
She can clearly see the basket full of food. Like you're gonna go through it all. Like at a picnic, there's no way you're not gonna pull everything out. And so there's no getting out of that quick. You can't just order an appetizer and dip. Like that's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be committed if you're doing the picnic idea. I get that. So you got what would be on the picnic date menu?
But what am I bringing?
Yeah,
I'm for sure bringing some sort of soft pretzel.
a soft pretzel.
Oh, I'm bringing a soft pretzel.
Where are you gonna find that?
What are you talking about? I'm gonna make it like at home or whatever.
You're gonna homemade. You're gonna do homemade soft pretzels.
I'm not homemade making one. I'm making a frozen soft pretzel, and I'm putting it in that basket.
Super pretzels
with some nacho cheese, as if I made it.
You're gonna pretend that you're gonna try to show off a super pretzel as if you made it in your own.
Or maybe I just roll pretzel bites.
Okay.
Be an easier way as well. It's got to be a lot of like little like
Finger
appetizer.
food.
Yeah, finger food.
Yeah.
Maybe you're bringing like a charcuterie board type feel.
Some
That'd be a good
jalapeno
idea.
poppers.
Yo, some jalapeno poppers. Maybe some
Yeah.
mac and cheese bites. You know what? Let's just do all appetizers. Like, that's what we're doing at the picnic. It's got to be a little like picky foods. You're not doing like a full meal.
You could pack them in little Tupperware like they're for a child.
Yes.
Like they're for a little baby that sits in a stroller type thing.
And if you're getting real romantic, like you want those little like poppable things that you can feed it in their mouth. That's like that automatic. Now
grapes.
We're really thinking, right?
That's the way to do it.
You don't want to be doing like
Which again, not a first date activity.
No, like you don't want to be doing like boneless or traditional wings. Yet again, that's never good for a date. You don't want like a full meal.
Because what if you run out of napkins?
Exactly.
You have a limited amount.
Yeah, you're only bringing so many napkins.
Yeah.
No one's bringing you more. And so, yeah, a lot of little appetizer type things, poppable things, easy in the mouth. That way you can still talk and not have to worry about like finishing the whole sandwich in your mouth.
All right. I like the way you're thinking. Well, we've given you some ideas. It's if you want to be on trend with your dates, picnic, plan ahead for third date picnic.
Third date picnic. Definitely not first date.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Going to the doctor, never fun as a child. Nobody ever wants to do that. And I have here a doctor who maybe was just trying to make things a little better, make things a little easier on a child, a 9-year-old that had to spend some time with the doctor, and it did not turn out well for him. We have a doctor in Brazil who's been fired after he prescribed for a child, among other things, chocolate ice cream and video games.
But what was the sickness?
The child was brought to the clinic after he started feeling sick. He had flu-like symptoms and started vomiting. Also had a sore throat. Usually that's typical, like, kid sickness. It comes and goes. It happens, right?
Yeah, you get like a sore throat, throw up a little bit. That doesn't sound like anything crazy, though.
No, it doesn't sound outrageous.
Yet
Now,
again, the typical sickness.
according to the parent of this child, the doctor acted very unprofessionally, didn't actually really examine the child's throat, even though he complained about it being sore, and then went on to start writing a prescription for amoxicillin, ibuprofen, dipirone, prednisolone, and N-acetylsalicylate. And then also asked the child which kind of ice cream he liked, chocolate or strawberry, and then prescribed chocolate ice cream and daily video game sessions with a game called Free Fire, and sent him on his way.
Well, he at least gave him like some medicine, though.
He gave him every medicine there is, it sounds like.
That's what I was thinking. Like he gave him the medicine that he needed.
Yeah.
And then maybe he was just trying to like give it a little bit of fun on the end for the kid, like a little bit of ice cream, whatever.
Uh-huh.
I don't feel like this is like a bad thing.
It's bad enough that he got fired over
I think
it.
that's kind of crazy to get fired over that. Because like for like a little kid, I guess like if he didn't do the examine, like if he didn't actually examine him,
Yeah.
that's one thing. But it seems like he prescribed him with things that could possibly help him. I mean, he has a sore throat. He's
Yeah.
throwing up. I get it or whatever. He's a little kid. He's sick. But at the same time, I feel like the chocolate ice cream and video games, that's just like trying to make the doctor seem more fun
Well,
for kids.
if you're throwing up, though, you shouldn't be eating ice cream, should you? That sounds questionable. And think about this. Think you're a concerned mother, and you're
overreacting a bit, yeah.
You're taking your vomiting child. You're worried about him, and you take him to the doctor. And the doctor barely even looks at him and tells him to eat ice cream.
I guess, I could, yet again, I see the whole examine part. If he examined him and was like, there's nothing wrong with this kid, he just has like a little stomach bug, as children do, then I think that's one thing. If he didn't examine him, that's where my issue lies. And so I think that if he did examine him, then it's not that big of a deal.
And a lot of parents, sometimes this is like stuff that your parents would threaten if you're acting sick, if you're saying you're sick, and then they'll be like, well, you're not just going to sit at home and play video games all day. You better rest or whatever, that type of thing.
Yes, you say that,
So
yes.
what if she told him that, and then the doctor told him the exact opposite?
Yeah, I could see the confliction there.
Yeah.
I could see the issue there the parents might have with the doctor. But yet again, it seems like the doctor's just trying to make the doctor a fun place where the kid wouldn't hate to come back to if he had to, because it's scary. I'm 25 years old, and I'm still afraid of the doctor.
Well, now it sounds like you're starting to make it sound like the doctor should, this is the medical industrial complex or whatever, where instead of actually curing the child, it's just going to make him want to come back all the time.
Well, that's not that. He still gave him the stuff that cures the kid. I think that it sounds like, if I was this kid's parent, this is what I would do. I wouldn't even have taken him to the doctor. I would have said, go back home, hang out. Oh, you're sick, you're throwing up. Let's see tomorrow if you're still throwing up.
What if he had something serious?
Well, he has a sore throat and he's throwing up. Come on. He's 9.
It's not uncharted territory.
His friend probably sneezed in his mouth. This happens. This happens all the time. Do you, as an adult, you know how many times I've thrown up from being sick? Never. But as a kid, you know how many times I was throwing up sick? Every other week it felt like if I wanted to get out of school. And so for this, not that big of a deal. The doctor should have done a better job examining him, or at least telling that he was examining the fake sick child. I'll say it. He's probably fake sick in it.
Yeah.
What am I going to say? But I think that it wasn't, he didn't have foul intent.
This is the last thing. I kind of touched on this. Think about this. If you're a child and the doctor, you go one time and you might have actually been sick and the doctor prescribes you ice cream and video games, then the next time you're going to be you're going to start, you want to just have a day off. You start coughing and Mom, I think I need to go to the doctor.
I need to go to the doctor and I might need some more ice cream.
Yeah. Actually, we can just skip the doctor visit. You know what he'd tell you. He'd tell you chocolate and video games.
Just hang out at the house.
Yeah.
Video game it up, bud.
Save you a few bucks, Mom.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
When is the age, do you think, that you stop feeling attractive?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, you haven't hit it, have you?
I haven't quite gotten there yet.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
You don't know. Yeah. Do you have an age in mind where you think, when I hit this, I'll probably stop turning heads?
I do. I don't know what the age would be, because I don't know what my future looks like.
Here's maybe this is a good way to put it. I better find somebody to be with by this age, because after that, it's probably downhill.
Yeah, your primo years.
Yeah.
I'm obviously in my prime years right now, so I think about. Guys can age pretty well.
Yeah.
For me, do I think I'm going to look this good?
Al Pacino's having a kid at 83.
Yeah, exactly. His wife's 29 years old.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm thinking I think I could still look good, real good in my 30s and whatnot. I think as I get into late 30s, then I don't know how I'm going to look. Then I start to hit the danger zone if I don't know what I'm going to look like.
Yeah.
I could still look great. At the same time, I might not look as good. Right now, this is the best.
You could look good for your age, but that doesn't mean you'd be...
Yeah. I'm not going to look like I do right now.
Yeah, you're not going to be turning heads. I actually have here some research that says that women, it's different for women and men, although similar. Women feel that they stop attracting attention for their looks at the age of 45 is the average age, where they think the attention, it takes a downturn and you're just kind of not, you become invisible from a attractiveness point of view. People aren't sizing you up when they see you out and about. And for men say 47 is the age.
A little extra meat on the bone there.
Which feels optimistic as a guy. I think for guys, I don't think many ladies are sizing you up past 30.
You don't think so?
No, unless you're a hottie.
Yes, it all just depends on if you're good looking or not.
Yeah.
If you're still doing it, if you're still looking good at 45, you're going to turn heads.
Yeah, for example, I have an example here. Gwyneth Paltrow and Cameron Diaz are both 45 right now. So they're at the age for the average woman where this would be the end for them, where from now on, nobody's just going to be looking at them as attractive or unattractive. They don't care.
I think they always will look at you as attractive or unattractive.
You think people always evaluate you that way?
I think you always get evaluated that way.
You out there evaluating grandmas, attractive and unattractive?
Well, there's certain levels to it, all right?
No, what's the level? It's
There's
45, apparently.
I don't think it's 45.
It's 45.
It's not 45.
That's what people feel. That's what women feel.
That might be how you feel, but that's not true. I know there's very attractive 45-year-old women.
Yeah, of course there are.
Exactly. And so if I saw a very attractive, very 45-year-old woman, I would say she's super hot.
Yeah.
And so I'm still basing it off of your attractive
So you think
level.
it's way less to do with what age you are and way more to do with how good you look to begin with?
It is. I think it has to do, it's not a thing of attractive or unattractive, because I'm not going to look at a 55-year-old and be like, she's ugly. That's not how it works. But if you're attractive, I'm going to say, she's attractive. If you're a 55-year-old woman, you're just a normal woman if you're just unattractive. But if you're attractive at that age...
So you're saying normal women are unattractive?
I think at the age of 55. See, you're gonna try to trap me here. I'm gonna delve into it anyway.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on the age. I think you can look very good at 55. I think you can look very good at 45. But I think I'm not gonna be like, oh, she's ugly. I'm gonna say, oh, she's attractive. If she's attractive.
Okay. So you attention can be grabbed by being attractive, but not by being unattractive.
I think
typically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I just saved you, I think.
Thank you for saving me. That was nice
Yeah.
of you. I think so. Yeah. You're not gonna grab it by being unattractive, but you will if you are
Well,
attractive.
I think this is good news for you though, because you've got till at least 47.
I've got time.
Yeah.
I think though. I don't know. I think it's different for guys. I don't know. I think guys are. I think they have a less advantage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they have a much younger age cutoff.
I think it is too, because I think the women
But
just think differently.
Yet again, I think that's also more because if you're just out at like the grocery store as a guy, you're probably not you're not dressed in a way, you don't present yourself in a way that would invite people to check you out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
You're-
I don't even. That doesn't happen to me now, and I'm like
Yeah.
in the prime years of my life.
Yeah, right.
Let alone when I'm older. I mean, women are definitely the ones that are getting like approached and hit on more than men are.
Yeah, of course.
And so they probably are going to be turning heads a lot more than guys are across the course of their life.
Yeah, it's just a different mindset.
It is. And so I got to live it up now. But I'm also on a clock.
And start dressing real nice for the grocery store.
Oh, start going to the
Give
grocery store
yourself an
dressed to the
advantage.
nines.
Yeah.
That has to be, I guess, the only way.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
NBA Finals begin tonight. Nuggets, the Denver Nuggets versus the Miami Heat. And it's time to ask a couple questions. First of all, Isaiah, why should somebody watch the NBA Finals if they haven't, if they need some convincing?
I would say because it's intense.
Intense.
Every game is like do or die. And so for me, I think it's one of those things too where it just feels really different. Like every game being a 7-game series too, it's just so exciting. Like there's so much action. Every possession at the end of the game too is so exciting because it's just like it's always do or die. It's so grand. I love it.
I think
I eat it up.
I think the reason to watch is Nikola Jokic. He is the 2-time MVP. Probably should have been MVP this year as well. And he is an underrated great player. He does
pretty great.
So many things amazing. He plays basketball in a real different way than in a very unselfish way, which typically that's not how you see the best players. He's not the most flashy necessarily from a scoring perspective, but man, the way that he sets up other people to score is impressive. And it's just it's kind of an unprecedented. He really is. If he played for a flashier team in a flashier market, he would be considered like one of the all-time greats already, probably, assuming that he gets a championship. And this is his chance to do that. This is your chance to see greatness. So that's he could be. He could be.
Well, I don't want to hear he's already an all-time great. Then I don't want to hear he could be.
This is the last thing he needs to
This
cement.
is not.
It is the last thing. He's
So you're
already
going to
won
put him right
2
there with
MVPs.
Shaq. You're going to say Nikola Jokic, Shaq.
Everybody says the same.
No.
You know who he's right there with that nobody would dispute as an all-time great? Kevin Durant. And what he's done is a lot more impressive to me than anything Kevin Durant has ever done.
I hate Kevin Durant, but he's accomplished way more.
That's
He's
nonsense.
won like 4 finals. What do you mean?
Yeah, Nikola Jokic is about to do the same thing.
He might win one, yeah.
And he's about to do it on a team where he's the best player, undisputably, and the leader of the team.
Yeah, I think it's great for Jokic. It's great. I think he's a great player. I wouldn't say he's eclipsed Kevin Durant.
He's about
the greatest scorer of all time. I'll say it. Kevin Durant, the greatest scorer of all time. Nikola Jokic isn't even the best at anything of all time.
He is the best at
He's the best at being
around.
He's best all around.
All around player. He's not great at defense, but he does it all. He does it pretty
a
much
little bit
all.
of everything. He's good. He looks real clunky. Looks real he's a very unusual player to watch, which makes him interesting. And I think he's great. I think he's an awesome player.
Unguardable.
Yeah, he is like unguardable right now by anybody.
Because either he'll beat you by shooting or he'll beat you by passing it.
Yeah, he's a great player. You're gonna hate him by the end of the series.
I'm gonna hate him.
I think everybody's gonna hate him by the end of the series.
Why?
But at least when I watched him play the Lakers, and yet again, it depends if you're cheering for the Heat, you're gonna hate him. If you're cheering for the Nuggets, you're gonna love him.
Yeah.
But he kind of gets the Patrick Mahomes treatment right now, where I'm talking about when you're watching a game.
And he just does unbelievable things.
And they just talk about it the whole time.
Yeah.
And so it kind of makes it hard to watch the broadcast. But, like, you don't have to tell me every single possession. Like, every time Patrick Mahomes makes a throw, Tony Romo doesn't have to say, that's the greatest throw I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Which just happens if you watch a Chiefs game.
All right, fair
and
enough.
so he kind of gets that same treatment, which he is very weird, and he looks really odd in the court. He kind of shuffles around. He doesn't look like an athletic person at all.
No, he definitely
Which makes
doesn't.
it really exciting to watch him, and he's really good, and I do like him. But it's a lot right now with Nikola Jokic.
All right. So then the other question is, what is your prediction for the series?
Tough. I think the Nuggets are going to crush them. I think the Nuggets are great.
Yeah.
I think they're a really good team. I think they're going to win in either 5 or 6 is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 6 because I think the Heat are a good team too. I think Jimmy Butler probably have a game or two, and their defense is really good. Bam Adebayo is going to guard Jokic probably the whole series, and he's a good defender. But if Anthony Davis couldn't stop him, Bam's not going to stop him.
No, yeah. I'm taking the Nuggets. I think it'll be 5. It feels too predictable, but it feels like the Heat win maybe game 3, their first game at home.
Yeah, I think the Heat they're good at home. The
Yeah.
Miami Heat's their home court advantage is really good, and they're good at home. But yet again, the Nuggets they're really good.
Denver just has so many guys. It does feel like a lot of things we've repeated in every series the Heat have played so far, but
It does.
they're just outclassed, outmanned, and this is the best player probably in the NBA right now, and one of the best of all time. And Nikola Jokic is about to show it.
But I will say this: if the Heat win, it's the most impressive NBA Finals run ever. Ever.
That's strong words.
It's ever. It'd be incredible. If they win the series, I'd be more impressed with them than any team of all time.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Get your phone ready to text in at 8772 Radio U for a new game we're calling Choice Champions. Isaiah and I are going to take turns. We've got a topic here, and we're going to pick teams in this topic, and then you decide which of us picked a better team. The topic for today, best things about summer. We're going to choose 3, snake draft style. I have the first pick, right?
Yes, you do.
I have the first pick, and then Isaiah's 2 and 3. I'm 4 and 5. Isaiah rounds it out with pick number 6. So I guess I got to pick the best thing, the very number one best thing about summer. That's a lot of pressure.
The best thing about summer.
That's a lot of pressure.
There's so many good things about summer, too. So I want to see in which way that you try to attack this. Because I'm very strategic.
Yeah,
because
you
I know
are.
that people are going to vote, right?
Uh-huh.
And I know how
So
to
are you picking a team for yourself or picking a team you think will
garner votes.
Will garner votes?
No, I'm picking a team for myself. Like, I'm saying what I believe in. But also, it just so happens that I am a man of the people. And so I know that my things that people are going to agree with.
All right. I think I'm picking one for myself, and I just think let the votes fall where they may. But I know in my heart already that I'm correct. The number one pick in our Choice Champions draft of the best things about summer, I'm going with festivals.
Oh my gosh, you're so okay, you're ridiculous.
And is that is it too all encompassing? Because I think festivals, fairs, carnivals all get rolled into one.
So.
That is the best thing about summer.
I was
you just can't have the rest of the year. It's not the same. You telling me you're not hyped up, not just for the state fair is a lot of fun, but like some towns have like the local fireman's carnival or whatever. And there's
that
counts. That counts.
You're just encompassing every parade in the summer. Got it.
I don't know. Parades aren't included.
Parades aren't included.
Yeah,
but
no, parades actually, that would be on the draft of the worst things of anything of all time.
Summer.
But no, I think festival, fine. If you even want to exclude carnivals, I still think like the street festivals.
Are you counting concerts and festivals, or is that a different thing? Okay, so are your festivals and concerts?
Yeah. Well,
got it. Do you want pools
not concerts,
too, or do you
but I do want music festivals.
You want the beach too with that, or no?
Just anything. Fine, I'll just take anything that's a festival.
Festivals,
which I guess excludes the fair.
Festivals is pretty
fair.
OP. Like I was gonna take festivals. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I agree. That's a good pick at 1. I wouldn't have taken it 1, but I was gonna take it in my pool. But I'll go number 2 then. My number 2
what's number 2 for you?
My number 2 pick is the later sunsets. A little more sun time in the evening.
That was on my board. 18 hours of sunshine.
Yeah, the more sunshine is like when you get off work. You think about the wintertime, you get off work, and then you're seeing straight darkness when you walk outside. Talk about it more. There's nothing more depressing than seeing the moon when you get out of work. summertime hits.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do whatever you want at night. You can go to the pool after you get off work. It's so great.
Sometimes I have to go to bed before the sun is set.
There's so much day left. There's so much left in the day. The later sunsets, an incredible
now,
part.
I love that, and I think it's a reach on your part, though, because I had that later on my list, but I also think some people, as far as a voting perspective, are going to hate that.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, I have back-to-back picks here. And so I wasn't going to let that one slide and possibly give you the opportunity to take that later on. And so the next one I'm going to take is summer vacations. I'm taking travel. I'm taking travel as a whole. Any trip that you take, because you're not taking trips. Who's taking trips in the wintertime? Like, you're not going to Florida in the wintertime. You're doing summer vacations. Like, if I look forward to my summer, I set it up in, like, June, where am I going? July, where am I going? It's the thing I look forward to the whole time. Like, there's a lot of things that are great throughout it, but I've got those couple times during the summertime of things that drive me through. Like my Scottsdale trip, I've been thinking about that for months. In a couple months, I'm going to go somewhere else in like August. And so for that time period, that's going to hold me over the rest of the summer. I think summer trips are one of the biggest parts. Like when you think back in a couple of years, like if I said 2017, what did you do that summer? You would say, oh yeah, that summer I went to Texas. You wouldn't say I went to the pool.
I thought about that, but you can go on a trip anytime.
You can, yeah.
There's other vacation opportunities. In fact, doesn't you think it feels a little better to go to the Bahamas in January than it does in July?
People make that argument, but it doesn't, though.
It does. It definitely does when it's cold and you escape. Okay, we got to go rapid fire here. I've got picks 4 and 5. I'm going to take ice cream trucks.
Whoa.
Ice cream trucks.
Whoa, when was the last time you saw an ice cream truck? That's a crazy pick. You're getting docked for that. Everybody hear that? I want everyone to hear that.
Ice cream trucks.
Ice cream trucks are too.
Ice cream tastes better when you get it from a truck that's playing a tinkly song, and you spend the amount of money on one ice cream bar that you could buy a whole box of 12 of them for. It tastes better. That's the next best thing about summer. And then I will also go, my last pick. I'm going to go July 4th, best holiday of the year.
July 4th.
I should have taken that earlier, actually.
I'm okay with that. I like both those picks, except for the ice cream trucks one. That's a wild one for me. The last one I'm going to take is being out on the lake. There's a lot of lake people. I love being out on the boat.
That feels a little niche.
Yeah, I love going out on the boat. I love jet skiing. I love being able to be out by the lake. That's my next one. So we can round out our 3.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and tell them yours.
All right.
So they can vote in.
Choice champions, text in which team you think is better. I picked that festivals are the best thing about summer, and then I also, other best things about summer, ice cream trucks and July 4th.
See, for me, it was later sunsets, summer vacations, and being out on the lake. Text those in, 8772 RadioU.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
It's getting heated in here for our Choice Champions debate. Isaiah and I have each drafted a team of the best things about summer, and then you can decide which of us came up with a better team at 8772 RadioU. My team is summer festivals, ice cream trucks, and July 4th. Isaiah, your team is
later sunsets, summer travel, heading to the lake.
And we're getting a lot of people texting in. Now, I'll give you this. Sean said, Isaiah, no contest.
He's a smart man.
Isaiah,
he likes the sunshine, baby.
Sean must hate ice cream trucks because I'm seeing a lot of other people saying that they have a lot of support for the ice cream truck pick, and it's helping me out here. It's boosting my numbers. For example, Crystal says the ice cream truck, although it's a van in her neighborhood, drives through at least twice a day once it starts getting warm, and it's a great part about summer. That is, it's exciting. It's exciting. You know,
I've never seen one. I'm be honest, I've never seen one.
There's 2 different ways that you can get excited about summer. Or
if you had said ice cream, I would have agreed.
Yeah, but ice cream you can get ice cream any time of the year. You can only go to the ice cream truck. There's a couple instances you can get excited. One is you're sitting inside, you're just bored. It's summer vacation. Like as a child, you're bored, you're sitting there, you got nothing going on. But then you hear that ice cream truck. It's like, oh, something to be excited about. And so you run on out, you spend your allowance, that's expensive. $3.50 to get a thing that barely looks like SpongeBob. But man, is that exciting. And then two is when you are you're out playing in the summer heat, it's hot and you're having a good time, but it's hot. And then you hear that song. You hear the ice cream siren call, the ice cream truck siren call from the distance. And you know, I'm about to get a nice little a nice little break.
See, I'm sure I would appreciate it,
Yeah.
but yet again, I mean, I've never seen it, so it's never been available to me. It's like if for people that when I said going to the lake, if you've never been to the lake, how are you going to appreciate the lake? You can't. For me, I can't appreciate the ice cream truck because I've never seen it. I lived in the country. You think it came down my road? I didn't live in a neighborhood.
It'd be even more exciting than if you did see it.
It would. I would be
Yeah.
excited. If I saw the ice cream truck, I would be excited. I'm sure of it. Just never seen it.
You
I'm not
don't
sure they're real.
There's a great part about summer that you've missed out. Glenn,
missed out.
Glenn voting for me. He also says the ice cream truck comes around twice a day. But you also have Tommy on your side. So it's actually kind of a 50-50 split.
It is. Team Isaiah for sure. I see that one there. Sean followed up after he said Isaiah no contest. He said, I live in Minnesota. Seeing the sun here is a miracle. I love the sun.
Well,
that later sunsets, I love it.
Yeah, I know that's a controversial one. I don't think you know what nobody's going to do is say, I hate ice cream trucks or I hate 4th of July. How could you?
Yeah, you're not going to say you hate. You're not going to say you hate any of them.
Maybe if you're
Summer's
from
the greatest.
No, but some people would say they hate the long sunshine because they want to go to bed when it's dark. And then they can't.
Well, I'm not here to pity the people that don't like being happy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm just I'm not gonna give into it.
I think you just
love
drafted
the
a more
later sunsets.
controversial team than me.
See, I don't know. I like the sunshine. I think that's a pretty. I don't think that's controversial.
Well, we can keep taking votes for a while. 8772 Radio U. We're not going to dwell on it, but we'll keep taking your votes if you want to tell us which team you think was better. 8772 Radio U, the inaugural choice champions on the Riot.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, it just keeps going on and on. I feel like it never is going to end, which I think everybody would be happy about, actually. At least the Taylor Swift fans, the Swifties, would be saying that. But I'm seeing every day I'm seeing more and more ludicrous things that people are willing to do to make sure that they get the most out of their Taylor Swift Eras Tour experience. The newest thing, this one has to take the cake. Multiple Taylor Swift fans have posted on TikTok about how they have gone on to wear adult diapers for the show.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, so that they don't have to miss any of it.
Oh, you're saying so they can pee themselves
Yeah. So
during the show?
Because you think about it, you got to get a good spot down there. You got to wait in line to get in to the venue. Then you've got a whole long lead up once you're in before the concert actually kicks off, but you've got your spot. You can't lose it. And then the concert's going on. You don't want to miss a single second of the action. You don't want to miss a single second, a single note of Taylor Swift and her singing and performing. And so you can't leave then. And so that's a whole long time. I mean, think about it. You've been to concerts before. Sometimes you might not really feel like you want to move for like 6-8 hours.
Yeah, but like if you miss a song, like you're gonna be okay.
That was what you paid for. What you paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars for.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna just pee myself in order to see it.
You're not that committed.
I'm not.
You're
no,
not like
I'm-
these Swifties.
Like I mean, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine wearing a diaper the whole time. That sounds terrible on its own.
Well, here was my question. Can you think of any kind of event whatsoever where you would be like, I can't miss a moment of this. I need to wear an adult diaper?
No, I could go see the Browns play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And if I missed a play, that's okay.
Well, you know, the difference is for the Browns, for football, there's a bunch of breaks in the action. With Taylor Swift, once she hits the stage, it's on. That's it.
There's no stopping.
Yeah, there's no stopping. There's no slowing down.
Yeah, but I said I would be okay with stepping out. I would be okay with stepping out, even if it was the third quarter, whenever it is. I mean, I'm going to time it up. I'm not going to go in the fourth quarter prime time. Like, I'm going to hold it as an adult would. Like, if it's a song of the night, I don't know what that would be. Like, you're going to hold it through that song because you're an adult. And you can
holding
hold
it can be bad for you, right?
That's okay. I'm an
bad
adult.
for your health.
But sometimes, you know what? For Taylor Swift and the Swifties, I'm sure that they're willing to take the day off of their life that holding it would be to see whatever song they want to see. But you want to wait until, and everybody knows, like, even if you're the biggest Swiftie, there's a song that's going to play where you're like, this is when I'm going pee. Like, this is one that's just not that lit.
No,
like, I'm going to go.
That's
how it works. Is every concert, you might be the biggest Swiftie there is. I know there's a song that you're like, this is the one. I head out.
No, Taylor doesn't roll like that. Neither do the Swifties. Every song is important. Every moment means so much, and you can't miss a single second of it. And that is why I understand.
So you think you would wear an adult diaper to a concert?
I'm trying to think of an instance where
that would be appropriate for you?
Yeah.
Because for me, it would never be appropriate. I think as an adult, I think I'd be able to hold it through it. And I'd be able to pick a place.
You know what? I just think maybe there's a bit of a stigma around the adult diapers. And so maybe I would just, it's less about, I don't want to miss a moment and more, just, I would just appreciate the freedom that comes with the adult diaper in certain situations.
So maybe you should start wearing them.
Yeah, occasionally. I don't need to wear it now.
Yeah, I mean, not for the show.
Not for this show.
Yeah, but maybe like in an
Because this show,
game,
one of the benefits
concert.
about the Riot is that you can listen in the bathroom, so no adult diaper required.
Yeah, you can just go in there.
But for other instances, I can think of some scenarios where maybe I just don't want to take a break.
Festivals.
One of the things
sporting
that's great
events.
about being a kid is they can just, if they're having fun playing, they can just go poop.
That's
and
wild. I
not
don't think
stop
that's
playing.
fun,
They don't
though.
have to stop. They don't have to put down their Legos or their trucks or whatever. They could just go.
Yeah, for me, that's not really a fun thing. That's not really an advantage.
Yeah,
It's
something
not
we're missing
advantageous
out
at
on as
all.
adults, I think.
It's just being able to go to the. I don't think so.
We could learn a lot from the Swifties.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
How often, what percentage of your driving do you think you do with Google Maps or Waze or whatever your navigation system of choice is? How often do you have that up?
That's a good question. For me, almost never. I know the streets that I go down. I know how to I know the city very well. I've lived here a very long time.
Uh-huh.
So for me,
So you always know where you're going.
I always know where I'm going. I don't think I could. There's not a lot of times where I use it. It's very, very little.
You don't bring it up for traffic purposes?
Mm-mm.
See, I was thinking that's beneficial. Usually, if I'm just driving around town doing something I normally do, clearly I don't need it. And I don't really use it for traffic unless it's like a time of day where I think something could have gone down. But I do, anytime it's anywhere I'm familiar, even if it's in town, I will pop up the old Google Maps. Doesn't hurt. Some people like to have it up for the police too, the Waze, to know about the police
that's a good way
traps,
to do it.
which is a good way of letting us know that you speed too much. But I think it's crazy to think that if you go back in time a little bit, that you used to, like, even driving around your own town, if you didn't have Google Maps, how would you find, like, you need to go to a new restaurant, it's on the other side of town. How would you find it?
I don't know.
It's a foreign concept.
You just
to me.
wing it.
Yeah.
Right? You just have to.
You'd have to have a paper map, and then I guess you know what you would do is you just wouldn't go. You wouldn't go to that restaurant.
Maybe you'd call ahead and have them tell you the directions. I don't know.
I was talking to somebody, I think it was my mom, about this recently. There used to be, I think it still exists, a website called MapQuest, and she would print out directions on MapQuest. This was like the bridge between having an actual map.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but I remember as a kid, always getting lost with the MapQuest directions.
Because if you miss one turn, then you're just totally
you're screwed. You nailed it. If you miss one turn, all of a sudden you're hopelessly lost, and there's nothing that either that big foldable map.
It's useless now.
That road map from AAA or that MapQuest directions you printed out, they're not going to help you once you're lost. And now, though, we have the beauty of, as long as you've got a cell signal, you've got Google Maps that can get you back on track and get you where you need to go, get you back in familiar territory. And that security blanket, man, that means so much. Life would be so much more difficult without it. And that's what God is for you. If you feel like you've gotten off track, you ever feel like you get lost in life, like you don't know where you are, you're in unfamiliar territory, Jesus is there. Jesus is ready to get you back on track, to get you back to where you need to be, to head into the destination where that's actually the ideal destination, the restaurant you were hoping to get to, wherever it was you were hoping to get to. Jesus will lead you there. Jesus is ready to help you out. He is that Google Maps that can help you and guide you through life. Start talking to him. Start inviting him in. Say, hey, God, I want that. I want some guidance, some navigation. Help me out. I'm lost without it. Go to RadioU.com/free gift to know more.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.